Hello, this is going to be tech demo number 2 that focuses on formative assessments. So the case study is about a 5th grade teacher that has a class of 20 students that all attend in person. She has 1 hour scheduled into the day to teach about ELA, and this week she wants to focus on synonyms and antonyms, and then each day kind of build on from the previous lesson. And then this is just the standard that she is using. And as a formative assessment, she uses paper exit slips after each lesson, and she asks the students to write any questions they have. Some of her goals are to be able to read students' responses and then use the information to complete and further the lesson for the next day, kind of just use that information in case students aren't understanding a certain part of it to maybe go over it the next day and things like that. At the end of the week, she also wants to be able to track their growth and understanding, both individual students and as a whole class. And her third goal is that she wants to be able to give feedback to the students and show them what they understand and what they also have to keep working on. Some of the challenges that she faces is that students don't really write much, or their answers are very vague on the slips, which it's kind of hard for her to evaluate their understanding. And it's also hard to see the big picture of the students' understanding and kind of the trends that the class has when she has to read 20 slips after each lesson. And then having students write these slips every day for a week just makes it hard to keep track of their growth, again, as an individual student and as a class, since there is like 100 slips that she has to read just in 1 week from the ELA lesson. So it's not really very easy to understand how they've improved. And it is also hard for her to give feedback after the lessons or at the end of the week due to all these previous challenges. So the website or technology that I have chosen to use is Kahoot. So Kahoot is a fun and quick game-based learning platform where you can create, share, and play. Basically anyone can use it, teachers, students, you could use it for personal reasons or professionals. Just anyone that has a device, you could play this on a computer, you can play it on a tablet or a phone. And how to get started, you can go ahead and go to create.kahoot.it. I also put the link in here. This page will appear a login page. If you already have an account, you can go ahead and log in. If not, you can log in with any of the other emails or just sign up. Once you have signed up, it'll bring you to this page. You can choose to either be a teacher, a student, for personal reasons, or professional. For this demonstration, I just chose to do the professional account. It does ask you a couple questions after you choose one of these options. For me, the personal account, it asks me who's going to use, for what reasons I'm going to mostly use it, and like who's going to use it, and it also just asks for a birth date. For the teacher account, I believe it asks for like what specific type of like lessons or what activities you're going to be using it most for. Once you have answered those few questions, then it'll bring you to here, which is the home page of Kahoot. On the side, it kind of just tells you what kind of plan you have. So I have just the free version, so it does limit what type of questions, what type of Kahoot games I can create or use, but obviously you can go ahead and there are better plans that you can choose from. Up here we have different varieties of tabs. And then the main page, you are able to play a demo game, kind of to see how it all works. You can create your own, or you can host one. Over here on the right side, it shows my Kahoots. I did a Kahoot based on the seasons, just so it kind of shows here, and you can see all the other ones. It also shows you your latest activity. So right here, it'll show that for you. Alrighty, so once you hit that create button, it'll bring you to this page. And here, this is how they all start out, and then you can go ahead and enter a name for the Kahoot on the top left corner. We're just going to do, we're going to write this practice. You can write a description if you'd like. You could even add an image, and it gives you the option to do private or public depending on however you want it, and you just hit done. This is very much like Google Slides or the Microsoft Slides. On the side, you're going to have all the little tabs that you create, all the little sides. The center, you have the main page, and then on this side, on the right hand side, you'll have all the different options for each slide. Up here, this is a quiz type, so you can type a question or a statement and you write in the answers here. Okay, on this side, the right hand side, it's important because if you click on this drop down menu, it gives you the various options of questions. You could do a quiz, you could do true or false. There's options for polls, or you could do open-ended questions. These ones with the little star again are for those like premium options. For right now, I'm not available to do those because I do just have the free option. And then you can go ahead and just add more. If there are questions that the students might need some extra time, you can adjust this. If there's questions that the students should know fairly quickly, you can give them a little bit less time. And then this does change on each slide. You can change it. The points. If there are, let's say there's a question that you think is more important and you really want kids to understand that, you could do double points just to put the little emphasis on there. And for these multiple choice questions, you can select to either have one correct answer, or you can select to have various answers that they can choose from that are all correct. So now I have created my own, and we're just going to explore this home page before we get into that. As we showed you already, this is the home page. Up here on the Discover tab, there are other ones that you can choose from. There's also other Kahoots or other courses that you can partake in. Library is where your Kahoots and all your activity is going to be. Here you can see the one I have already created, and up here we're going to go to our drafts. This is my draft that I have started, the ELA lesson plan, and I have a little picture for it. We're going to go ahead and edit that. So this is one I have already started. As you can see, I have typed in what are synonyms. It gives you an option to add a picture, add the options for the correct answer. And let's say this one, the red one, is going to be the correct answer. So you hit that circle and it gives it a check mark. It also gives you themes on the side to choose from. It just depends which one you want. Alrighty, see, this second slide is a true or false. Again, type up the question, add the picture. You can go ahead and click the circle so that they know which one's the right one. On the side, make sure all these options are how you want them to be. If there is a slide that you're like, you know what, I don't want it, you can go ahead down here on the right hand side, you can delete it. There are other ones. For example, this is an open-ended question. You can go ahead and type anything up, and then the players will have the option to type in their answers. Same with the word cloud. And then we just have more true or false questions and just other quiz questions. So now we are going to go ahead and we are going to practice doing a little Kahoot. I'm just deleting these because it won't let me save it unless I have just the regular ones. Once you're done, you go up here to the right hand top corner and you hit save. It's going to ask you here, let's see, it says correct answer not selected for quiz type. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. We're going to hit, let's see, let's see, this one is not the right one. Okay, here we go. Save. Alright, your Kahoot is ready. You can test it, you can play now, you can share it with others. For now, we're going to hit done. Again, back to the home page, you hit library, your Kahoots will start up, and then at this point, you can go ahead and start. Once you hit that start button, it's going to bring you to a page where the students can go to kahoot.it, and we're going to choose a classic mode. At this point, you should have your screen kind of projected up on the board. Once they get to the website, it's going to ask for a game pin. They can either type it in, or they could use the little barcode. I feel like barcodes would be more with phones. Since this is a 5th grade lesson plan, it is most likely that they will be using their Chromebooks or a computer that the school has given them. So, okay, so now they're just going to go ahead, and it's going to give them an option to write their name or a nickname. You want to make sure that they write their name so you can keep track of them, and you can see their progress at the end, which I will show. I'm going to go ahead and do player 1 and player 2. On the screen, you will be able to see who has logged in. Once you see that everyone's logged in, all the students are ready to go, you can go ahead and hit start. And for the purpose of the game, one of the players is going to get some questions wrong. Here we go. What are synonyms? These 4 little colored boxes will appear for them. Let's see, words that have similar meaning, words that are short, words that rhyme, or words that have the opposite meaning. Alright, you can see here the correct answer and how many students got each one. When we're ready to move on, we hit next, and their points are added up, and we have a scoreboard. And for the next question, antonyms are words that mean the opposite. Is that true or false? We're going to go ahead and hit true. Again, you can see how many students have gotten them correct or incorrect. Scoreboard once again. Another true and false. Synonyms and antonyms help expand vocabulary. Okay, we can see 1 and 1 chose, and it shows on their screen when they get it wrong and when they get it right. Alrighty, next question. Which is a synonym for cold? Freezing. Again, see the statistics from there. You can see their points. Last question. One antonym for start is begin. We're going to hit true and false to get those different answers, just for the purposes of the report at the end. Once all the questions have been answered, there's going to be a scoreboard, and it'll show first, second, and third place, and the runner-up. This is usually when kids get all excited and are trying to see who got the most correct. We're going to skip this just a bit. So after this, it's going to bring you here. It's going to give you a couple statistics. So it gives you how many percent correct. It'll show you which ones were the more difficult questions. Over here on the right hand side, it's going to say view full report, and it does give a little warning. If you haven't stopped sharing, this would probably be a good time to do that, and it's more for your personal use, and it's part of that formative assessment. So we're going to go ahead and view the report. Okay, as you can see, we get more statistics. We can see players and the questions and the time it took. If we go to players, let's see, player 1 got 80% right, as well as player number 2. We can see which ones they got correct, which ones they didn't, and the time it took them. So this is a very great website to use for you to keep track of all of the feedback. We can also see not just what questions they got wrong, but as a whole class we can kind of see which questions were answered incorrectly, to see which ones you might have to go over during the next time. So yeah, this is just a very fun and quick game. You could do it as a formative assessment, but there's also many other uses for this website. So yes, that's it for today. Thank you.